What's up, guys? This is fuck. So guys, it's developer SciTech here. Today we're just going to be going over the fundamentals and just basics of Bubble.is. If you don't know what Bubble.is is, it's like a programming website, but no code is needed. You don't need to know it. You learn as you go. Here's some images. This is the workflows, how anything gets done. Usage, all this stuff. They have showcases. They have this. I don't know what this is. I'm guessing this is what. Yeah, this is that page, and this editor will look like. Jesus, this is what their page looks like here. Anything different for me. This is what they use for their page, and this is how theirs looks. This is just their actual thing. This is their website, and that. But if you go here, it looks like a regular website. There's nothing weird about it over copyright and stuff. So when you first get to this, if you have an account, just press login. If you don't have an account, you click sign up. I don't even think I have those emails, but it's email for this tutorial series, so it will be deleted after I finish. So first thing is you need to sign up, so I'll do that, and then you gotta create a password. And then you can press sign up, or you can log in with Google or your GitHub account. Gotta agree to this, go to terms and conditions, do all that stuff. I suggest reading it. I've read it before, so don't worry about it. Once you read it, you can come back to this page. If you don't agree, it'll just delete your account, I believe. But if you click agree, go to here. Brings you to their welcome page. From their welcome page, shows you off with a bunch of their lessons. These lessons just show you how basics of it, like saving data and stuff like that. But we'll go and do more in depth, go straight into it. I suggest taking these first down Bubble, but if not, free to just watch these, and it'll show you how to do different things. I plan to get these videos out I think I'm gonna be doing this every Tuesdays, or it'll be every Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So far I just think Tuesdays. So from that, we're gonna start off and go to close this because I've already had a tab open right here. This is when you create an app, this is what it'll bring up. In this, you can't edit anything. First off, you gotta do this. So it's gonna ask you a few questions. What I like to do is I like to just get rid of all of this. So instead of having to go and manually delete all this, you can just press this button. Start with a new blank, and I'll just delete everything on the page. If you want to, you can skip this, but I don't suggest. Sometimes it's actually very useful. I tend to just do this first because it sets everything in the page, all the pages, but you can also do that in the settings, which we'll go over next. But close the system if you want to, but you can just do let's get started. You can do whatever you want to call this, so we'll just call this tutorial, and we'll go to the next step. Click the main language of this. I live in the US, so I'm just going to pick English US and click next. this is what these options are pretty different from each other. So these are the page sizes. So how they look on here. Depending on how you make your app, this can be like dynamic. So when your page gets bigger, like their screen gets bigger, it'll get bigger with it. If it's smaller, it gets smaller. But if you do full width, it won't get any bigger than what your page is. If you center, it'll center the page. If you do mobile, it's just set up so it's a mobile page. So when they load it, it's mainly for the phone, and you can't get bigger or smaller. Custom is just whatever you make it. I usually go with full width. Look at this. They have a bunch of this. I usually just go with the standard Google theme because some of these are weird. Just for the sake of this, I'll go with a different one. I'll go with around it. And use this theme. You can change it all you want. I will change it to. How about this? I'll go with the Discord logo. Of course, me doing this right now, it won't change because I'm not on a paid plan. We'll go over the plugins last. We'll go to last step and close it. So this is your like little builder. You can take this and drag it over here, or you can just drag it over and make it big, however big as you want. What font is this? I got the map that they were showing off. This is Google Maps. We here. We got over here, we got the scroll up and down, it's the scroll bar. Input forms are all the ways you can input data. You can install more via plugins, we'll go over that later. Reusable elements. In here you'll see all the pages and reusable elements. Down here you can go and add a new reusable element and make it, or if I went that little thing like this, there's multiple, a picture of something and then an alert. We can select all that and we can make that to reusable element. Of course you gotta name it. Let me get a better example. I'll just do tutorial. And what we'll do is we'll just do a button and get started. And say I want that on multiple pages, so you can just select that. You can apply them into group, you don't have to. What you can do is just go here and convert to reusable element. We'll just do tutorial. You can name it whatever you want. Tutorial, and it'll bring you here. And now it's its own reusable element. It also comes with a header, Bubbles header, and login, as well as a footer. Go back. Over here. Over here, you have to have these three main pages. The index, which is what the site is, what it is when you first open it. Reset password is how you can reset your password. And then 404 is when the page cannot be found. And that. So let's go back to the index. Containers, this is where you can hold multiple elements. So if I did this, if I actually select this, I can group these into a group. And now these two things are contained together and move around. Move this around in the group, or I can just take it out. If it's in the group, it has the same elements as the group and moves around with it. May not be the best description of it, but here it goes. Pop up is its own little thing. When this is not open, you open that via a button. and all that. Templates. This is like a tab. These are templates that it gives you. It doesn't. I don't think you can make other ones. Yeah, you can't make other ones. What happens here? They have these two things. Oh, that's correct. So the tab elements is basically a tab system, like information, content, and stuff like that. When you're on the page, each tab has a different thing. When you click on it, it goes and shows the information on that tab. Sign up, you can sign up for the page, and stuff like that, and it's pretty good thing. I tend to not use it because it's easier to make your own and they'll just look nicer. You actually do it yourself. The next thing we'll go over is the responsive. Oh yeah. No, go over this first. This is your like toolbars where you'll basically do everything. Like over here when the buttons, how you mainly change the text over here. Just do hey. And then if you don't want people to be able to click it, you can click this and they won't be able to click it and they're in the actual page. It's like this, you can have it set up something or you can just have it clickable for no reason. Style. They have the styles that they already give you that are pre-made. And you can also make your own, customize it how you want. And here. Change the font, you know, all that fun stuff. Tool text is when they hover over something. So if I do hello and then I go to preview, preview opens another opens a new tab or uses another one. It uses one that's open and it will refresh that page and it will show the current how this looks, but only people with this link can view it. The live link is only what you actually sent to that server. So tool text is basically when I hover over this, under the mouse you see that little box where it says hello, and that would be the tool text. Next we got background color. Background color, you can just change that. It changes what's inside of the button or whatever it is you like using. The border style. The border is basically what's around it. You can have nothing around it. You can have dotted lines around it. I don't know why it would. And then you can change the roundness of it. Next, you scroll down. You got show text shadow. It makes like a little shadow for the text. It's available. So if this is not checked, you won't see it on the page like that. Element tree right here shows what you have and what is not visible currently. They're not visible. You can set it so it just shows everything, or you could just set it to show whatever is not visible all the time. Like that. See, now this is visible all the time, now this is not going to show it. And now if I do this, it's just all of them. Give me off this. I tend to keep it like this because it's a lot easier to see it. Next, when you scroll down, you got the shadow. Shadow just makes a shadow around that element in the shape that the element is in. Next, we scroll down, we got these. Make element fixed with is when an element can't get bigger, nor can it get smaller. It'll stay that exact dimensions, which are right here. W is for width, H is for height, X is for the X coordinate on here, and the Y is for the Y coordinate. So what pixel is on each one. Minimum width is how small it can get. Say if you don't want it to be smaller than 50% of its actual width, and you go here and you put 50%, 50. You can't go over 99 in it. When you apply max width, it does not get bigger than the max percentage you set in there. So when it's at 100, it can't get bigger than its original. But if that's 150, it can get 50% bigger than the original size. Select parent. The parent of it. The parent of this is index. That's what it'll be. Rotation angle. You can set it to rotate. Now you can have it rotate however you want. So if I want it like that, now it's rotated. Of course, oh god, why? Sometimes this happens when you're doing it, it'll fix itself after like 3 tries. So now the element is sideways and not just regular. Let's set that back to just 0. Next we're going to go into workflows. So the workflows, you can do it on anything. So if you want a video to have a workflow, of course you can't do it like this, you have to do it a special way to get... Well, no, you can't do it on videos, never mind. But you can do it on text, so when you click on the text, it can show something else. So what we're gonna do real quick as like a little example is we're gonna make... I don't know why... Sometimes this does it if you drag it. What I'm going to do is we're going to make this say, when you click the button, hey, it's going to say, how are you doing? We're going to make this so it's not visible, so now nothing says it. What we're going to do is we're going to do start element workflow. And it is going to, what we're going to do is we're going to do show and show hey. So now when we load into here, click this. Oh dang. It would help if you actually did it right and not just quickly done it. So now when you click hey, now it says how are you doing? So next thing, of course, in the next few tutorials it'll get more advanced and start showing you more and more things, and we'll be working on actual programs that I've made and am working on while doing it because they're relevant to what I'm doing, and it'll just make it less time consuming. The next thing is your tag types. You make a new field, say if you want the actual website to have customizable things, so you can do website or name it whatever you want. And here you say you want to have a website title that shows up there that can be changed. We'll do it so the website title, and then text. You can have this as a text, a number range, so it's like 1 through 10 or 1 through whatever, or 10 through whatever. It's up to you. The date, whatever date set to, like a date. Date range from like, say you want them to be like 18 or older and you don't want them to be able to select anything under, then they can select from the set date there. Say if the set date range is from September 15th of 2019 through September 2050, and at September 15th, 2050, you'd only be able to select through those 2 dates. Date interval, that's after, just the interval of dates. Yes or no, this is like a true or false. What it'll come out to when you actually do this as just like a text, it'll say true or it'll say false. Files, they can upload a file, or you can upload a file through here, and the file will just, and there will just be a file there that you can show or do whatever with. Next is an address, that's what we're going to do. We're going to do address. We're going to make a pinpoint address. This is where they select on a map or they write their address on something, and it'll save here. You got the user, which is basically under here. Under the address is what you have over custom data types, and you can click on them, and then later on your data you can select what you want from that type. Since we're going to be able to, some people can make multiple entries, is we're going to set it to like that. So now people can have more than one, so we can have more than one address collected. Privacy is you can define rules. I don't really use this because it's not really needed, but you can define a rule, say you don't want everyone to see a website. How does that sound? Alright. So say when current user isn't logged in, it can of course view all fields. Okay, I'm not the best with the privacy. We may need this for someone else for help on that one, but everything else I'm pretty good with. The app data. This is where you can see like the current website when you switch to live, when the website has been, when you actually deployed the app, once people start making accounts, this is where they'll show when it's in live. There'll be a refresh thing down here. So if someone's making when you get multiple people signing up quickly, and you want to be able to keep seeing them, it'll be a refresh, or there'll be pages when you have multiple people. I think the max amount of people you can show per page is 50. Website, the same thing, but this is now just in that category. Styles is all the styles you have. Usually there's just regular ones from Bubble, or you can make your own just by adding a style or applying a theme. See the theme right here. All the themes. Plugins. This is where it shows you all the plugins people have made plus Bubble. Some of them are free, some of them you have to pay for. So if you want like a 360, or say this one, like this one's just an ad block checker. So if you have an ad blocker running, and it will find the ad blocker. It will find most ad blockers. Most ad block checkers can find most of them, but not all. But if you have like Google AdSense on your website, it'll see if, well, it doesn't matter if you have AdSense, but say you have Google AdSense, when people have an ad blocker, you won't get paid because they're not seeing that ad. So it doesn't count as, Google won't recognize them seeing it. So when that happens, you don't get paid for it. So what people do is they make ad block checkers so they can see if someone is using an ad blocker, because if they are, they can stop them from using it by restricting all access to the website via some code, via some workflows in here in Bubble, and then they can't use the website unless they disable that ad blocker. Durable avatar and stuff like that. This is where it gets fun. This is where it gets a little fun, but not really. In the app plan and set we're gonna go through the settings now. In the app plan, you can select what you have. When you first have a Bubble account, every app you have will go to the default plan, which is Hobby. But of course, it's only on that one website / application. So there's no way to have it, say if you make one, you buy a plan, it's not going to go to every website that's there. It's only going to go to that website. but each thing has its own little stuff. Production is the most expensive. If you bill it monthly, it's $500 and stuff like that. Cheapest one is personal, and that's $16 billed monthly. Confirm changes, you have to go and pay for that. Stuff like that. Next is general application rights. This is a private app. Everyone can view it. If you want application rights, if it's a private app, only people with the link can see it. Everyone can view the app. Everyone can edit the app. We're gonna go with a private app. We'll have access to this with the username and password. So if they don't have an account, they cannot go on here. But you need to upgrade your app to do this. So if they don't have a username and password, they can't come onto the app. Define a password policy. Defining a password policy is just making sure that they go through a thing. Making sure that their password is how you want it. Say if you want it, they have to at least have 8 characters in their password, a number, and a capital letter. Then if it's set up like that, then they have to have 8 letters or numbers. They require a number, so you have to put a number, and you have to put a capital letter. Non-alphabetical characters are like the @ symbol, the hashtag sign, the exclamation mark, stuff like that. Next is a redirect users who haven't changed password. If they haven't changed password but you want them to, say if this app randomly assigns someone a password, and you want them to go and change that password, otherwise they'll be locked out or something like that because it's not very secure. You can go into here and say you want them to go with 404 if they haven't changed the password. Then it'll make them go to the 404 no matter what page to go to. Activate 2-factor authentication. Application name to display, and this is just 2-factor identification is where they have to go through another way of signing in to make sure it is them. Allow the redirect iframe. All frames allow with this one when same origin, or allow all iframes. Make new data types private by default with a privacy rule placeholder. This is so when you make like a new data type, that it will be private and only by default. So now you don't have to go and make it private. The privacy rule placeholder. So you have to have like a thing saying, I think that's what it means, but I'm not too sure. Do not check cookies on visitors by default. If you don't know what cookies are, they're what makes pages run faster after you looked at them once, because then the website will go look at that again. So with cookies, say like you save your password to Google, if you delete all of your cookies, then you'll have to go back in and log back in, because the website won't see the password and username, so it can't go and do that. The next thing is the favicon, which is right here, or right here where it has like that B and the period before it. That is the favicon of the website. So if I go to YouTube, of course the YouTube one is this. Next is a repeating group. Next is the progress bar. So when you have a bunch of things going and maybe one's creating like a new what's it called? Just a new field, and okay, I feel like I'm butchering this a lot. Creating a new thing in a data category, then it'll have like the blue bar above it showing how far it's gone. Spinner is when a repeating group is loading. It'll just put a spinner with this color. Output density, the device pixel ratio, usually 1. It's like 1 pixel per pixel, stuff like that. There's the option to add an ID to read to the HTML. Self-explanatory. Google Service APIs, so if you want to have like a map, you have to get an API from Google. There's docs for everything. I'm not going to do that. The geocode, you also need this for the map. You don't need to have them if you're not going to have your own domain, but if you have your own domain, you're going to need to get these API keys to use a map. Like to use a map. iOS appearance for 60x60's iPhone phone screen. This would be like that little, when you're on the iPhone, this would be that app picture. It's like, I'm trying to think of how I could say this. Like how Twitter is that bird. Yeah, like how Twitter is that bird. That is what it'll show. That's what the icon for the home screen is. iPhone 5 startup page, iPad startup, and then iPad startup image, landscape, and the portrait version. This is just if it's like sideways. It's just how the pixels are aligned. Custom fonts, you can add fonts. Which is like a font library. It's really just putting your own fonts into the website so that you can use them on that. But it's only for that one, so you have to do it on every one. You can pick 4 colors. This is like their default, but you can change it. Say if you want multiple different color red. Now we got those reds to pick from when in here. So when you're in here, it'll have those colors. Or you can reset. Say you want to go back to what they gave you originally. You can just press reset and change them all back to what they were. The app file management. This deletes everything that is not being used. Say you don't want to go and manually delete every one of these styles, or you're not going to use these anymore, or you deleted one now because you can't delete it from here, you want to restore it. If you want to get rid of that, save some more room on your app, because they do get big after a while. And you only got like 2 gigs on the hobby and 10 on the professional plan. You can do optimize application, and then it deletes everything not being used. Sometimes that like takes longer, sometimes it's quicker depending on how it's being used. Domain email, this is like custom domains and stuff. You can set up this domain, so if you buy one for Google or somewhere, you can go into here and do domain, but of course you need to be on a personal plan to use your own domain. Email settings, you have to have a domain, but then you can have what you want to show on your email, but what you want to show on the email when you're sending out an email from the website. This is for like HTTPS. You need an SSL encryption for it to be safe, so it can be an HTML. But of course, Bubble supplies you with one while you're on their domain. You can go in here and edit all of this. Of course, I never have luck with this, so let's say if I want, say, say when something breaks and when the system has to say try again, you can go in here and click this and edit what it says inside. But of course, when I do it, it disappears. I don't know why. I can't edit that. And it says currently having messages for, and then your language. You can have something in a thing, but usually you just keep it at. I usually just keep it in English. And then the primary language of here. SEO, SEO, social media tags. So say when in like Discord, when you post a link, it shows that under the link it shows like, say if you posted to YouTube, it would say the YouTube video would say the title of it, there would be a link. The link would be in it, and it would show like a photo of it, and then the description. So this is basically what this is. The title of the application whole. So say this is a tutorial series. And now, of course this works with more than just Facebook and Twitter, but that's just examples of it. And the description of the website. Of course none of this will work unless you actually buy their personal plan, which is $16 monthly, $14 annually. That's $14 a month this month, just $14 for the whole year. It's $14 a month, which works out to be, I don't know, but it's still like $100 for a whole year. Thumbnail used for the links. It's just like that when you're on YouTube and you post a video, the thumbnail for that video. That's basically what this is. SEO settings, customize robots.txt. Robots.txt, it's like when you have HTML or something, I believe. Expose the sitemap file, stuff like that. It's just all your SEO and meta tags, which just help people find your website. Endpoints. The endpoints are where it shows what's going on in the API. In an API and stuff. Well, no, it doesn't show the people. It shows an API if it needs it. So it's like a data type for the API. And this is what you can show it. The workflow API shows what's going on in the workflow to help it go faster. Login page for SEO and redirect. So if you want to redirect what you want to say, page, go here. And now you can make as many as you want. First, now that you could say this one's for Twitter, so they can log in with Twitter. And then Facebook. So they can literally log in with Twitter or Facebook, and then you just gotta get a redirect URI, which is, I believe they give you that. And then all this stuff. And delete this now. Disclose SSO, which disclose its like base URL, SSO secrets, prize welcome message, flag and require activation flag when it's not confirmed. Default use avatar when creating the account. Collaborations, you need to at least have a professional friend to add other people, which is professional until I believe it's professional until professional's next one. Team, I believe you get 10 people. You can have 7 people, and then production you can have up to 39, including yourself. Not including yourself. So professional gives you 2. Which that means you and one other person. And you can invite their emails and they can go into their Bubble accounts and come and edit it with you. You can say if you want them to be an admin, and if you want them to be able to edit, or just you want them to view or just edit. And here, and in each one of these, this is only the developer version, they can't update to live. Sub applications, say you have like multiple applications, but you want them to be all tied together. That's what's right here. Add the app name. App name and take the database for creation. Oh no, it's going to redirect me to buy something. but it'll show you what you need to do there, and just the version of Bubble Engine. In the logs, you need. This is what's going on right now. It's just how it's going, traffic's going in here, and stuff like that. And this is just a bunch of other stuff. So that's just like the main. Oh yeah. Up here in your toolbar, this is where you can view elements in the current page you're in. This is the pages. This brings you back to Bubbles, like your Bubble home screen. This is just like what's going on right here, the grids. I usually do this by a 100 by 100 ratio. So you know each one's 100 and this one's 50 and this one's 50. Next you have the arrange. So in here, I want this to be entered horizontally and centered vertically. So now it's in the middle of the page. Exactly. And say there's another element. Say this is here, but I want this one to be behind, send back. You got the redo, the undo and redo buttons. Search by element type button. And then, hey, you can search for that element in here. Development. This is what your current website looks like. You can't go and edit this in here. You have to go into the development. You can only edit them in development and deployment and version control. This is so when you deploy an application, it shows it. So many people make great applications, but they don't press this button, and then they get frustrated when no one can see what they've done. You have to click the version control. See, I can see this right now, but they'd have to have this link, this at the end to show it, instead of just doing this. But it'll only show this because I have to put the development version. So in here, hopefully the music's not too loud. I just realized it's there. In here in the deployment message, of course you're the only one that sees this. So you can just do a bunch of spaces and you can share it via email or whatever, any of this. And then now it'll show your previous and you can copy this time and revert to that time. But if you're on a hobby, you can only go 24 hours back, which is really, you can only go 23 hours and 59 minutes back. And this is in the 12-hour time zones. This is like military time zones and stuff like that, instead of the 12-hour clocks we have that America has. Well, no countries have. I'm just going to exclude America to that. And then that's pretty much how this is. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope to see you in the next one. The next one will be just more learning about Bubble.is. Hope to see you in the next one. If you like this, be sure to like and subscribe for more tutorials, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a nice day.
Make a wildfire get away.